Welcome back with our special guest, Jodi Owens. And Jodi, what else is coming up at the Repel Diabetes Learning Center? I think you've got a whole program coming out called The Good Life?
The Good Life with Diabetes. We're launching that this year. We have in the past done a community-focused project or a day of community education that is open, that's free to the public, and we want to continue that this year. And in the past, people have recognized it as the Spotlight on Diabetes.
Yes.
Well, we just did a little bit of changing up this year, and we changed that title to The Good Life with Diabetes because that's what we really want to focus on. You know, we feel like we put a lot of focus on the diabetes itself and the disease process that it is. But we also want to bring in what's going to, like we were talking about before the break, what's going to work for you, Miss Donna, as an individual.
Right.
And what's going to make it your good life. And so that's what we've brought in, and we're really excited. Miss Jan, our dietitian, has gotten the opportunity to travel around with a mobile kitchen. And some folks we've been seeing it around.
She's been on the show
here.
Yeah.
So she's going to be taking that kitchen. And you know, she's such a wonderful asset to us as far as cooking, because not only does she like to teach about healthy foods, but she also likes to present them and cook them for us. And so we thought, why not put those two passions of hers together?
You bet.
And so I will be there assisting her and assisting with the demonstration. We're going to have some taste testing, different dishes and different food items there. And then Sherry Smith, our other nurse educator, she's our clinical specialist, is going to be there talking about exercise, about medications, going to be there to, you know, answer different questions and things, because like you said, so many things come up. And when you factor in, you know, yes, I have diabetes, but I may have 3 other things in
going
my life
on at the same time,
right? Or I may
preventing
have,
me from the exercise,
right,
preventing me from, you know,
sure. And so we say any movement is good movement. Any movement counts, and we want to focus on, you know, starting from the very basics of movement and activity and exercise. So even those folks who are limited can participate and can join in with us. Of course, we also have some wonderful goodies. We've had some great. Just really good ideas about what people can utilize and what people need. What are some good tools to have either in your kitchen or in your home as far as managing and living with.
Making life easier.
Yes,
yeah.
and having that good life. And so we hope we've got some good things. A couple of really nice door prizes and giveaways as well. So it's just going to be a really good 3-hour program. And we're limiting to that 3 hours, and we think we can get a lot of just meat and potatoes in there, and so to speak, and no pun intended.
Meat and potatoes.
That's right.
You can have meat and potatoes.
So we really hope that everybody will come out and enjoy the day. Space is kind of limited this year. We have room for about 120. Currently still taking reservations, so by all means, if you see this, I know the office is not open today, but call us in on Monday or call and leave us a message. It's 508-1765 is our phone number there at the Repel Center. And we are still taking reservations for the Good Life with Diabetes program.
And that's April 3rd?
April 3rd from 9 to noon.
In the Lagerborg dining room inside the hospital?
Main hospital campus. Main, yes. Okay. And we will try to have that day some of the shuttle folks down, because parking is a little limited right there by the cafeteria itself, but down in that lower parking lot. So don't let that be an issue. And if you need any assistance, again, just give us a call. We are real excited about this program and getting it out there, and actually just been working on some different things today and really getting ready for that.
Oh, that's wonderful, because it's right around the corner.
It's coming up. We're very excited.
Are you going to do it again? Any other programs similar to this?
We will. We will be having a couple more programs in the area, so if you don't live right here in Mountain Home, but you catch this broadcast or you're visiting a friend here, we're going to have a program, a Good Life program in the Horseshoe Bend area.
Oh, great.
Over in actually at the United Methodist Church there in Horseshoe Bend, Arkansas. And that's coming up on June 17th.
Okay.
And then we will actually have a repeat of this same program in the fall, probably in the Marion County area. We haven't quite hammered that down yet and figured out the time and the date on that.
So if you can't get to
this one, there are going to be more and
which
repeats.
Is great because I know with Spotlight on Diabetes, it's you never want to turn folks away, but fire codes say you can only have so many people in the Loggerboard dining room. So
that is true, and it's it is a little bit different of an approach this year. We have taken to really whittling it down to what are the basics of, and that is the food that we eat and the energy and the activity that we utilize, and how to make that come together in a nice balance and make it a really good mix for each person.
I know one of the things that we used to do with folks that were challenged as far as exercise would go, because of other diseases, because of other limitations, we had what was called chair dancing.
Yes.
And you sat in your chair and we used paper plates as our symbols. But it was wonderful because what you can do with a folding chair, no arms in the way, that kind of thing, you really can work up pretty good sweat, pretty good workout, getting your heart rate up.
And moving and grooving, and even for our elderly population and folks that aren't quite as limber and quite as movable sometimes, just the pointing and the flexing of the muscles and the movement of the hands and the feet and the legs gets that good circulation going, makes you feel better, gets that blood circulating and getting things up and moving. And so we will be looking at those 3 areas of exercise, with the aerobic, which means that the heart pumps and that the you might get a little sweaty, but also, the strength training and the stretching. And so something for every level of activity there.
Because it's crucial to make sure that blood is flowing.
Yes.
Is that where with neuropathy, which is also part of diabetes, comes in?
Can play a big factor there. And if you think about, and I tell patients this repeatedly, if you think about the issue of diabetes, which is elevated sugar levels. The sugar is in the bloodstream. And then you think about, where does the blood travel in your body? Everywhere. And so is it a huge and major relationship between the blood flow and the sugar levels? Absolutely. And getting those 2 things together and like I said, making it fit into whatever you can do. And that is, I think, the most important thing.
And that's what's wonderful, because you'll be showing people and demonstrating to people and sharing that information. Because it's one of those, I could have had a V8 when you watch somebody do something and go, oh, I never thought of that.
Exactly. We actually even have some DVDs that we're going to be having available that are very for beginners or for restarters, if you will. Very low impact, and they are mostly sitting, and it's a chair exercise, an entire video, and those of course will be free as well. So
that's great.
So we love our freebies, and the National Institute on Health and Aging actually provided those for us. So great resources out there. Great opportunities too.
And that's another thing. You just mentioned the word resources, and you mentioned it earlier on in the program. I mean, you've got to stop by, if you or a loved one, anyone you know has diabetes, the resources that are available, all free, as you walk in the door, and there's a bunch of volunteers that are always there to help, and there's just tons of information.
And it is so critical, I think, to make that first step and come on over there. At least get us on your radar, and even if you're a little cautious about maybe testing or not sure, a lot of patients come in and they say, I don't want to poke my finger. I don't want to deal with that. And the reality is, when we talk about those things and when we get them out and have that hands-on experience, and we're able to take this little piece of equipment and this little machine and realize that it gives us some real valuable information in order to make the good choices or to avoid some of the choices that aren't so great. That's the key area there. And when people realize that, and you said a moment ago, it's almost like the aha moment or the light bulb. Oh, well, that makes sense. Otherwise, it does seem like, well, gosh, I'm just sitting around poking my finger. And that is, it's really one of my passions, is making sure that folks understand not only why you want to do this, but what you can do with this information, what it means to you.
What it means to you, because it's really your disease.
It is.
We're sorry you have it, but
Absolutely.
it is your disease, and we're going to show you and help you control it.
Right.
So and it doesn't control you, you control it.
And I think Sherry says it best when she says we want to take diabetes out of the front seat and hopefully put it either in the back seat or possibly even in the trunk to where it's not something that controls you. And, and I think that's a great analogy. And I think that is, regardless of the age of the patient or the motivation or anything else, it shouldn't be something that controls your day-to-day.
Get on top of it.
Absolutely.
Understand it, educate yourself, and get on top of it. So.
And it is the key thing, I think, for a lot of people is that moment of understanding about either this is why this happens or this is why this happens, as opposed to, well, I just have a high blood sugar. And it's very frustrating to me because I check it repeatedly or my doctor checks it repeatedly and all I hear is, you have a high blood sugar. And so learning how to kind of do some things to get that blood sugar back down. And I often tell people sometimes that checking your blood sugar at home is like doing your homework. And going to the doctor is like taking that big exam. So what do you want to do to get ready for that big exam? Make sure and do a little homework in the meantime. And I think that makes it a little bit easier.
And like you said, with you and Sherry and Miss Jan that are going to be there, and I always just love Miss Jan because she always starts out, what I always love is her portion control.
Yes.
And it's called We Really Can
Sure.
Eat a whole lot less and be very healthy.
Yes.
We don't need to supersize everything in our life.
Absolutely. So. And she does a great job. And I think, like I said, with this program and the Good Life program coming up, it's just a wonderful opportunity for her to not only showcase that, but also for Sherry to get out into the community and educate folks on some of the better technologies that are out there and also the medications and things. So it's going to be a really good day and really excited about it. And again, give us a call at 508-1765. We're still taking reservations and be glad to get you on the list.
All right, April 3rd.
Yes.
And if they call and they can't make the April 3rd, you can give them the information on
some
the
of
other
the
dates
programs.
and times.
Yes, absolutely.
Sure. All right, Jodi, thanks so much for joining me today. I sure appreciate it. Thanks for all of you viewers that have joined us today as well, and I hope you've learned a lot about diabetes, but come and learn even more April 3rd, Lagerborg Dining Room, 9 to noon.
9 to noon.
Yes. I almost said 9 to 3, but 9 to noon. All right.
Thank you.
Come again. Talk to you again next week.